And later on we'll talk about trauma, but those are all layered in the body. Trauma is there with stories and emotions, but I remember a woman who came on a retreat, and she could not sit still. As soon as she sat, fear would arise or her body would start to shake, and after a minute, she said, I just can't do it. So, of course, when somebody can't do something, or there's a lot of resistance, which is what was that question before, I get really interested. Oh, something's cooking. What's going on? You know? So I said, let's sit together. She came in and we sat, and I said, all right, we'll just try sitting, and you can describe to me what happens. Close your eyes, begin to sit. She said, okay, I get quiet. My body starts to shake. I feel a rising of fear. I got to get out of here. I said, stick with it. Just make loving awareness a space to hold all this. And then all of a sudden her eyes fly open and she says, ropes. And I say, tell me what you see. It turned out that she had been abducted 10 years before, kidnapped, tied up, all kinds of terrible things. And that was all still in there. And the minute she sat still, it triggered that memory of being tied up and being unable to move. Meditation was unable to move. So all that stuff came up immediately. So we started to hold it with compassion, but it was not the right thing to just stay there. She told me some of the story, which I needed to hear, and she needed to have witnessed some of the emotions. And I said, why don't you do walking meditation? Don't try to sit. And so she did for those 10 days of retreat. She didn't sit, mostly. She just walked back and forth, being mindful of each step, noticing the emotions, seeing all the images that came. And little by little, she walked herself back into her body, because she actually couldn't live in her body after that trauma, and she'd been doing all kinds of other things to avoid the trauma that she carried. So the attention to the body becomes really important, and the ability to help in these different practices of body scan or walking, or just bringing a healing presence to the places that hurt. We did the compassion practice in the same way. You can, whether it's use your hands or use the attention, go to the places that feel the most tight when they arise and hold them like a child. Soften, because usually we contract and there's a resistance. And when you contract and resist, what happens? It locks it in. And with that softening and kind attention, then the body says, oh, finally, he's paying attention to me. And things that have been held can open.